Okay, next question number 3 under this graph of parabolic curves. Write the equation y equal minus x square plus 4x minus 1. Y equal minus x square plus 4x minus 1. The table is provided, x and y values. X starts from minus 1 up to plus 5, right? Minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Corresponding y values are x minus 1, y minus 6, x0, y minus 1, x1, y2, x2 is a blank, x3, y2, x4, y minus 1, x5, y minus 6. So it's the pattern in, if you see all past exam papers, they will give an equation of the graph and there's a table provided. You fill the table, mostly one blank, 1 marks for that. So how do you say in front of x square minus? So very first is my fifth video. Better you watch previous all in order, then only take a good idea, good knowledge of this full question in the exam paper. So in front of x square minus come graph is maximum. In front of x square minus this. My first video I said I inform a lot about properties of the curves. In front of x square minus come graph is maximum. Earlier second question we drawn graph minimum graph. First also we drawn the graph minimum. Here we see the maximum one question. Okay, first we fill the table, right? Only one blank. X is 2, what is y? If x equal to y equal, put x4 2, there's a minus x4 2 square plus 4 x4 2 minus 1. Now simplify it. So y equal minus 2 square 4, 4 times 2 8 minus 1. So what is that? Minus 4 plus 8 plus 4 minus 1, that's 3. So table import, if you misuse your directed numbers, minus plus combination, if you have a problem, you can answer full. If you grab table missing, full 0 marks. You can't take full 10 marks question, exam paper, very easy question. X is 3. So as I mentioned many videos that after complete the table, see the y values, minus 6, minus 6, minus 1, minus 1, 2, 2. Yeah, y always becomes symmetrical from the both extremes, right? Let's spend few seconds, always refer that. If you miss that, you can't get the actual graph, the graph wrong, different shapes, right? So y always becomes symmetric. Okay, now draw. So I hope you have the graph sheet now. And take a proper scale, draw the maximum parabolic curve. When drawing the graph, they always draw the y-axis first. Draw the y-axis by referring the x-coordinate. Here minus 1. Here x is minus 1, you take the big 2 square. Usually in the market we have the millimeter graph sheets. Take the 2 big squares, 1 unit, and draw your y-axis. When drawing the maximum graph, the peak point is the important. Peak point are the important part. When you draw the minimum graph, the minimum peak side, the lower part are the important. So x-axis y and 0, x up to 5, negative minus 1, y up to 3, below up to minus 6. Now sketch, mark by pencil the pair of coordinates x minus 1, y minus 6, x0, y minus 1, x1, y2, x2, y3, x3, y2, x4, y minus 1, at last x5, y minus 6. It's the maximum curve. So very first part table, they will give 1 marks for this. If you draw by, take the full use of the graph sheet, large graph, proper scale, and mark these all points. 3 marks in the marking scheme. So up to now you have 4 marks, right? So if any problem, stop the video and complete the graph, then only we can answer. So I won't read all very first all the parts. Every part by part I explain you. So stop the video and complete the graph, and later back to this video and answer the following questions. Write this part, first part. Write the coordinates of the peak. 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 So what do you mean peak? That's point, upper point, highest point or maximum point or peak or something advancements we call refraction point. So what are the coordinate? X is 2, y is 3, right? 2, 3, 2, 3. Right, second part. Write the equation of the symmetric axis. Write the equation of the symmetric axis. So every graph has symmetric. You see all your grade 10 graphs or your O-level graphs, symmetric. So how to find symmetric? Now through the peak, through the maximum point, you draw a vertical line. Where that line cuts the x-axis is called the symmetric. So x equal to, right? X equal to symmetric axis equation. Write this third part, part 3. Write the range of x. Write the range of x for which y greater or equal minus 2. Write the range of x for which y greater or equal minus 2. Write the range of x for which y greater or equal minus 2. So as I mentioned in the last couple of videos, how to answer such a range problem, right? So here write the range of x, values of x when y more than minus 2. So where y minus 2, where here y minus 2. So draw this line, draw this straight line, y equal minus 2, y equal minus 2. So y more than minus 2 means above this part. Y more than minus 2. When y more than minus 2, what the x values? So the idea is where this line and the curve cuts. One is here and say straightly what is this value. And here cuts, say straightly what is this value. So y more than minus 2 is the part of the graph, right? So x value start from here to here. Start here, finishes here. Between these, right? Where this line cut the curve and see this vertical point along the x-axis. give this and this. So if we draw properly, you can see what the coordinates. So I roughly show that x range of x, we call this is maybe what, minus 0.3 less than or this up to, let's say 4.3. If they mark the equal, you also show the equal symbol, right? Usually we write such a range problem as an inequality form. So you improve how to write the inequality pattern. The y greater than minus 2, the range of x. Well, next part, fourth part. Show the equation of the above graph. Show the equation of the above graph. Show the equation of the above graph in the form of. Show the equation of the above graph in the form of y equal k minus x minus h all things square. Write the equation of the graph in the form of y equal k minus x minus h square. This is the important part. My first video I mentioned clearly, I shown my first video. You can refer before this, come to this part once again. So there are several types of equation for a given parabolic curve. So see how this method, this we call completing square method, right? Bracket there and a square there. That's we call completing square method. So this idea here, k gives the maximum value. K is the maximum value. And h, so I not complete the problem, I think. Write the equation of the above graph in the form of, and write this also, where k and h are constants to be determined. Where k and h are constants to be determined. Okay, that means we have to calculate what is k, what is h. So this pattern called maximum value and the symmetric pattern, right? You know maximum value is 3, symmetric is 2. Therefore the answer is, this k gives the maximum value 3 x minus h. That is symmetric x coordinate 2. This is the answer, right? So better if you refer my first video, I explained clearly there are 3 types of equation can be rearranged from the graph. So it's the answer. So where, what is k? K for 3. Where k for 3 and compare h for 2. H for 2, right? Let's ask for where k and h are constants to be determined. We have to calculate that. So k is 3, h equal to. Okay, we'll see the new question, problem 4. Question 4. Let's say you work out from your text question. You can see page 49 in your book, in your book. Page 49. Page 49. Here, there also question number 4, right? I'll give full explanation for such. So stop the video and refer that question number 4 in the page 44. Sorry, 49 in your grade 11 text part 2 book. So without sketching the graphs, right, that means by using experience. If you have asked experience by drawing many parabolic shapes and answering and identify the pattern and the properties of the curves that I explained in my first video. So without sketching the graph, write down the following for each of the given functions. So they ask first, nature of the graph. Nature of the graph. B part, equation of symmetric axis. Equation of symmetry. Equation of symmetry. Part C, what? Maximum or minimum value. Maximum or minimum value. Maximum or minimum value. Next, the part D, coordinates of the turning point. Coordinates of the turning point. So refer you that question, or you can copy this. So for the following graphs, without drawing, you have to explain these parts. Nature of the graph, equation of the symmetric axis, maximum or minimum value. Part D, coordinates of the turning point, right? Coordinates of the turning point. To answer such graph, you need good experience. We've drawn 3 graphs. Also, I mentioned in my first video. Then you can answer this clearly. Okay, I take the first question. Y equal x plus 2 square minus 3. Okay, it's very important part. This comes in part 1, paper oral maths. Paper 1, without drawing questions. So one of this part they ask in the future, you can see past papers, one of this part. Right? So this graph, we write this A, B, C, D parts, right? Okay. See, y equal x plus 2 all things square minus 3. So here the nature of the graph, that means shape of the graph, how it's shaped. As I mentioned in my first video, if you expand x square, then here there's x square. In front of x square, positive symbol here. Therefore the graph is minimum value, minimum graph, right? So here all level we answer only if we go to advancement, we have so many solution for this, there's so many properties we provide giving there in answering such question. But as O level, we enough that minimum curve, right? So here minimum graph or minimum shape or minimum curve, right? Nature of the graph. Next B part for this question, this graph, symmetric equation. This we call completing square method, right? X plus 2 all things square minus 3. This we call completing square pattern. There are 3 patterns of the parabolic curves. You can refer my video 1. So symmetric equation is, you make this bracket to 0 and say such pattern, if they ask the symmetric, you make this bracket to 0. Therefore, x plus 2 is 0. Not need square. All things square not need. X plus 2 bracket enough equal to 0. Therefore, x equal minus 2. X equal minus 2 is the symmetric equation of this graph without drawing, right? If you have doubt, you draw and check. If you are confused these days, you are free now. You can draw and check with all these parts accurate with these answers. So part C, maximum or a minimum value. That is depending on the A part. If you mention minimum, give the minimum value. If you give the maximum, give the maximum value. So I said minimum graph this one. Therefore minimum value, this minus 3, right? This minus 3, when writing the completing square form, the last number gives you max or min. Here minimum, therefore minus 3. Value only they ask minimum value, so minus 3. So last part, coordinate of the turning point. Coordinate of the turning point. So this I mentioned is the graph minimum curve. So it's the coordinate. So what the coordinates mean? Find this x value and find here the y value. So you know, always when drawing a parabolic curve, symmetric x coordinates is the minimum x coordinate or maximum x coordinate. So here x is minus 2, comma, minimum value, y value, you know, minus 3. Minus 2, comma, minus 3. It's the full answer for the first question only. Y equal x plus 2 all things square minus 3. Nature of the graph minimum. Equation of the symmetry, make the bracket to 0. X equal minus 2. Maximum minimum value. Here minimum value minus 3. You can say the minimum value, right? Minimum value minus 3. And the turning point coordinate minus 2, comma, minus 3. If any confused, stop the video and refer says to slowly see one by one. You will identify if you follow all my video with me. First, please subscribe, then you can really collect all videos what I am releasing here. So many attractive answers, fully solved question I will publish through these videos. See second question. So mentions your book problem. Refer the page 49. You can see these problems available in our local book, right? So see this graph. Another chance to learn the 4 properties: nature of the graph, symmetric equation, maximum or minimum value, and the turning point coordinates. So y equal minus into x minus 2 all things square plus 4. So I think you can answer this. What is it? Nature of the graph. Nature means whether maximum shape or minimum. So very first I said. So in front of x square minus comes graph is maximum. So without drawing, you will quickly say that in the future your problems. Then you can prepare your graph sheet properly for a maximum shape or a minimum shape. This is what? Maximum graph, because in front of x minus. So maximum, right? First part answer or A part, maximum. Nature of the graph is maximum or maximum shape or maximum graph or maximum curve or maximum function. Next B part, equation of the symmetric axis. Give the symmetric axis equation. So as I mentioned many times, this also gives that completing square form. So make the bracket to 0. X minus 2 to 0. So don't bother about the negative symbol. What is negative says graph is maximum only. When they ask write the symmetric equation, put the bracket to 0 enough. So x equal plus 2. So if you draw, you can see that x equal 2 is the symmetric equation. X equal 2 is the symmetric equation. So part C, if you mention maximum graph, give the maximum value. Or if you give the minimum graph, give the minimum value. So we mentioned maximum graphs, therefore maximum value is what? This 4. When you write the complete square pattern, the constant number out of the bracket number gives you the maximum or minimum, right? So here what? A maximum value equal what? 4. Maximum value is 4. The part D, turning point, coordinates of the turn. Every graph has turning. So here you know the y value, you know the x value, that both are gives that part of that answer. X coordinate, comma respective y coordinate. So here maximum x symmetric equation 2, maximum 4. 2, 4. So it's an important question for your oil part 1 type. They will give one equation like this. Here are 4 parts, A, B, C, D. They ask 1 or 2 parts in the future papers. You have that book problem part 3, third question. Y equal minus x minus 3 over 2 all things square plus 1. See another equation here. So it's everything clearly we can answer in such a pattern only, completing square pattern. Then I hope now you can answer all this part. If you refer my 2 problem previous answers, how I explained, how I shown those solution, then answer this. So the nature of the graph. Nature mean here in our oral math graph is maximum or minimum. In front of x square minus, so maximum graph. Nature is a maximum graph or maximum function or curve. Symmetric equation, make the bracket to 0. X minus 3 over 2 equals 0. Therefore, x answer 3 over 2 or 1.5, right? 3 over 2, 1.5 or 1.5. So, what the maximum or minimum value? That means y coordinate. Maximum value mean y coordinate or minimum value mean y coordinate. So, we mentioned the maximum value. Therefore, 1. 1 is, don't write y equal to anything, only number, numerical value. So coordinate what? X coordinate, y coordinate. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I hope you understood clearly this important part for the exams, especially for O-level part 1 questions. We available such methods. Y equal 1.5. Next question. Minus x minus half square. So simple. This because all these previous 4 problems up to this 4 problem all complete square parts. So you can quickly answer for such parts. But here good experience. If you work many problems only, mathematics mean problem work 100 question in each and every compulsory problems in OL paper, then simply you can get the high results, high A pass for mathematics. So nature of the graph, what? Here x square in front of x square minus, so maximum. Symmetric equation, make the bracket to 0. Of x equal half, x equal half. So we mentioned maximum graph, therefore maximum value this one. There's a completing square bracket, out of the bracket there's a number, that is called maximum or a minimum, right? 1.5. So coordinate half, comma 1.5 is it. So if you're confused of this answer, draw. Take a graph sheet, prepare a full table. You write some x values in order. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Find the y value, draw the graph and see, satisfy this. That's the way of, these days you can study like that. And full research of this type of question, then no matter whatever problem you can answer easily. I take another question from the book. I take this one. I skip one that you can answer. Okay. See this question, this part, y equal x square plus 6x plus 5. Y equal x square plus 6x plus 5. Without drawing, write these answer. Nature of the shape, maximum or minimum, symmetric axis, and the coordinates. If you compare with the previous 4 parts, Roman 1, 2, 3 up to 4 parts, here's something different. Those parts are completing square pattern. Here not so. Therefore, the easy, you have to convert this. Using this, you can answer. You can answer as an O-level student. That knowledge you can answer. So therefore, you prepare this into completing square form. So if you learn the quadratic equation, there's a type of solving by completing square. That idea we work once again here. So I show here y equal x square plus 6x plus 5. See how to write this. Once again, you can study your quadratic idea, quadratic equation idea. So y equal, write this x plus, write the plus. If it's 6, write the half of that, right? If it's 6, write the half. Half of 6 is 3. And write completely square. This is the method, right? So you know what is a plus b all things square? A plus b all things square. A square plus 2ab plus b square. A plus all things square. A square plus 2ab plus b square. So here x plus 3 square. X square plus multiple both and double. 6x plus 9 plus 9. So can I write this one as equal to this? X square available, 6x available, 9 but 5 available. No 9 here. That's the additional term. Therefore you subtract 9. So remember whatever here, subtract its square, right? That is an additional term. If it's 4, subtract 16. If it's 1, subtract 1. If it's 3, subtract 9. If it's 5, subtract 25. We have plus 5. Now it is both fully equal, the same both equal steps. So y equal x plus 3 all things square minus 9 plus 5 minus 4. Therefore, this problem should be converted to this pattern. Then only easily you can answer. Now you can. I hope you can answer simply this everything. Nature of the graph, symmetric equation, minimum or maximum, coordinate. Nature of the graph, x square positive plus minimum graph. Minimum, symmetric equation, make the bracket to 0. Maximum or minimum value, we mentioned minimum, therefore minimum value minus 4, right? Minimum value minus 4. So coordinate minus 3 comma minus 4. So if you are any confused, stop the video and refer it, slowly recollect, revise it, then very clear. I show another one also my problem. I see this part 6, we say part 6, I introduce a question here. Y equal x minus 3 x plus 2. Another pattern. There are various types you are able to see. If you refer my first video, this I said intersection pattern. This gives you where the graph cuts the x-axis. So if you follow this pattern, we convert this shape, this equation into completing square pattern. So here this multiple the bracket and come to this and follow this step, it become a complete square, then you have a solution. So here we multiple the bracket first. Y equal x into x square, x into 2 plus 2x minus 3x minus 6 minus 6. So what is that? Y equal x square plus 2x minus 3x minus 1x minus 6. This is the graph. Another shape. This I said my first video, intersection pattern. This is general pattern, y equal ax square plus bx plus c. And now we convert to the complete square pattern. Refer the previous question. Y equal, how to write the complete square? Here x minus, here 1, coefficient 1, then write the half here. Half of the 1 is 0.5. Don't write decimal fraction, better than decimal. Half all things square. So as I mentioned previous problem, what is here? Its square come as an additional term. So subtract 1 over 4, right? And here minus 6. So y equal x minus half all things square minus quarter minus 6 minus 6 quarter. This is the, so very important, I explain fully, work here, refer this, keep in touch, then simply you can answer. There's no more problem than this. So then answer quickly all these parts. 4 properties, nature of the graph, symmetrical and maximum or minimum and so on. So what is nature? In front of x square, positive, so minimum, right? Symmetric equation, make the bracket to 0. Make the bracket to 0. So x equal half. We mentioned minimum, so what the minimum value? This one. Minus 6 quarter, minimum value. Turning points, here is graph's minimum turning coordinates, but half, comma, minus 6 quarter. So I hope you understood clearly this, how to answer such pattern. There's various types of questions you have to work in the future. I will show many videos here. It's my 5th video, so please subscribe and press the bell sign. Then you will automatically receive this kind of mathematics problems, and through these lessons I show your O-level target questions.